Hi, welcome to DP Animations. So on this episode, we are going to look at creating a simple news ident for a news channel, or it can be used for other things too. All right. Well, this is in line with a question a brother asked concerning creating a news ident without using plugins. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is this: the idents that I'm going to create, although I'll use plugins in some parts, these plugins can be created with a shape layer. Okay. All right. Please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. Also, if you'd like me to do a series of these news idents, let me know. Okay, let's start. So let me open After Effects. Let's create a new composition, 1920 by 1080. Okay. Let me name it Picture 1. Let me open my folder here to bring some materials or assets here that I'm going to use. I know I said that we are creating a news ident without using plugins, but for time's sake, I'll use one or two plugins so that I will be able to finish early. Okay. Aside from that, we can use a shape layer to create that particular effect, but just that it might take me some time, waste a bit of my time. Okay, so I'm going to use plugins for those parts. Okay, so let me copy these images here, click and drag them in, and I have a few graphic elements that I've created, then rendered as MOV files that I'm going to add to it too. Okay, let me bring them also in. All right. So now we are in the picture 1. Okay. Now come to the tools menu, then select the rectangular tool, then double click on it so that to create a perfect rectangular box around your comb. All right. Now come inside here, then change the stroke to white. Okay. Then the fill, let me off the fill. So select the fill, then off it. We are not going to need the fill. Okay. Now right click inside, come to new, then select solid, then white layer. Okay, let me make it white. All right. Then bring it under the shape layer. All right. Then press S, then scale it down. Okay, so somewhere here it's okay. You can decide to compress it a bit here. So this is okay. All right. So after that, just select any of these pictures, then click and drag them underneath this. All right. Then you scale the image down. Okay, so somewhere here is okay. After we are done with that, select the solid layer. We are going to the mode to do something, but because the modes are not here, just click on the toggle switches here, then come to the normals where the mode is, then select maybe stencil alpha. Okay, so the stencil alpha will carve the shape around the image. All right. Okay, so this is one method. Okay, so if you don't want to use this method, you can just clear, then you duplicate the shape layer. Okay, then this time the second one that you have duplicated, just we are not going to need the stroke, so we will take the stroke off. Then the fill, we will needing the fill, so let's bring it back. Then press S, then scale the shape layer down. You see this? It's the same as the one I did first. Okay, then you scale this one down. You see that? So the same thing, bring the image, then you scale it down. So let's duplicate this one, this shape layer, which is a shape layer 1. Let's duplicate it. Now let me off the duplicated one, then the one on top, come to the mode, then select stencil alpha so that it will carve the image from the shape. Okay, so now the one that I've off, let me bring it back. Then this one we will bring the stroke back. Okay, so let's come to stroke, then select the stroke white, then we take the fill off. Okay, so by so doing, you see that we have another stroke around the image. You see this? Okay, now let's add more. We can just duplicate one again, the stencil alpha. Let's duplicate that one. Then the mode, let's put it to normal. Okay, then come to effects, then you can type linear wipe, or if you don't want to go to effects and add effects, you can just move the anchor point to this end. Okay, Then you stand here, then move this up. You see that? We are just going to create a kind of reflection on the surface of the image. So this is okay. Then press T for the opacity, then go something like 15. Or let me make it 20. You see that? All right. Now, once you are done with this, all that you have to do is just duplicate the picture 1 Control D several times. So maybe 4 is okay. Now let me open picture 2, picture 3, and picture 4. We are just going to replace the image in each. Okay. So picture 4, let me see. Let me replace it with this image here. And let me scale it down. You just have to bring the image on top of the one under, then scale it up. Then picture 3, you have an image here. Let me bring it also here. Let me scale it down a bit. So this is okay. Now 2. Let me use this image. Let me scale it down. Okay, so now we are done with our picture placement. Now let's create another composition. 1920 by 1080. Let's name this one Scene 1. Scene 1. Okay. So this tutorial is based on a question a brother asked concerning creating a news ident without using a plugin. And like I said, we are creating a simple news ident here. Okay. And we ain't going to use plugins. But because I want it to be fast, I'm going to use some simple plugins here. But such plugins, you can recreate them with shape layer. Okay. So if I have time, I will show you how to use shape layer to create those particular plugins. Okay. Now the first plugin I'm going to use is Radio Wave. Okay. Radio Wave, which you can achieve with a shape layer. Okay. So let me right click inside Scene 1, come to New, then select Solid. Okay. Then the size that I'm going to use here is 800 by 800. Then click OK. Okay, so I have my solid layer here. Now come to Effect and type Radio Wave. Radio Waves. Okay, double click to apply it. So this is the radio wave. You see that? Okay. Now come to its attributes here. The effect attributes. It says here stroke. Let me change it to white. I want it white. Okay. Now the wave type, let's change it to image contours. So this is what I need. Okay. And it's too much, so I will have to reduce it. So let me come to the, let me see, frequency. So let me give it something like 0.5. Okay, so this is enough. You see that? See how slow it is? This is what I want. Okay, so I'll leave this one like this. Then continue doing my work. Then when I need it, I will use it. So let me hide it. Okay. All right. Now let's bring the first image, which is picture 1, in. Okay. And let's make it 3D. Let's make the radio wave. Let me rename this in as radio waves. Okay. Let me bring it back. Now let's make it 3D. Then the picture to 3D. All right. Let's right click in, new, then bring in a camera. Let me make it just something like 35 millimeters. Okay. So press C for camera. Let me CC for zooming 1. Then you zoom in. Okay. So this is enough. All right. So come to the active camera, then switch it to custom view 1. Then duplicate picture 1. Okay. Then you move it, the duplicated one, to the back. Somewhere here is okay. All right. Then you duplicate again the back one, then move one to this side, then move one to the other side. Okay. Now let's come to the active view. Okay, so this one is not positioned well, so let me move it again to the other side. All right, so this is okay. Now the radio wave that we have is this one. Let me duplicate the radio wave. I'm going to leave one here for now, then lock it. or hide it. Then the one that is in the middle here, I'll press R for rotation, then rotate on X 90 degrees. Okay. So what I'll do is change the view to front view. Okay. So this is enough. Front view. Then you bring this one down to the level of this here. Okay. Let me see something first. Let me come to the active camera view. Let's see. Okay. So we are going to press S to scale this up. So let's scale it up. I think this is okay. 300 is okay. 300. Then you stand on the X. Then I stand it here, this side. So this is okay. Now let's come to its effect control here. Now the start width and the end width. Let's go something like 30 for the start width. Then the end width, let's go 30. Let me see whether this is okay. Too much. So let me make it 2020. 2020. Yeah, I think 2020 is okay. Let me see something here. Okay, let me undo this. Okay, now come to, let me change the active camera to front view. Okay, now the radio wave, I place it here. So let me bring it to this level here. All right. Let me change the color to something like either orange or red, any color at all. Okay, any color at all will do. So let me duplicate it, Control D, then move one to this level 2 again. Okay, now let's come to the active camera. I think now we are on the track. Let me see. I think I'll have to go with the first one, where I move it to this side. So let me go back to the front. So let me move it to this end and move it to this end too, because I'll bring other things in here too. So now let's come to the active. Yeah, this is okay. So let me duplicate this one again, Control D, then bring this one down. Okay, let me bring this one down. Then the duplicated one, the width, the start width, let's go something like 60. Then the end, let me see, 62. Let me see. Not much. Let me see 100 and see. Okay, so 100 will be okay. So let me go 100 here too. So 100 is okay. Press T for opacity. Okay. Then make it something like the opacity, something like 20. Let me see. 20. So 20 is okay for the opacity. Now the one on top to do the same thing. Let me duplicate it. Duplicate it. Control D. Then move one up. So somewhere here is okay. All right. And like the same thing, come to the start width and the end width, then type 100. Then the end width 100. Then press T for the opacity. The opacity, let's go 20. Okay. So we have this. Okay, so now let's play this and see. Okay. So you see this. So if you think the color is too much, you want to reduce it, just come here, then reduce it. All right. So let me cancel it. Let me leave it for now. This radio wave that I've done, I've used plugin. These ones, you can create it with shape layers. Okay. You can use shape layer to create this. That's why, because it's easy, that's why I decided to use this plugin, so that we won't waste that much time using shape layer to be creating this thing. All right. And the same thing, I'm going to use another plugin, and this plugin too, you can design it. It's a grid, or you can download a grid image from online to use. All right. So just right click in, new, solid, then make it comp size. Okay. Then let me name it grid, then click OK. So the grid effects I'm going to use, you can download the image okay, a grid image from online. This way, you won't waste your time creating a grid image here, okay? Then come to the effects and type grid. Generate is here, generate. Then double click on the grid to apply it. So you see this, you can get this grid image from online to use. That's if you don't want to use the effects. So let's change from canopies to width slider, okay? Then the width slider, the width here is 32. Let me see, 50. Let me make it 50. Okay, so 50 is okay. Then the border, let me make it 0.3 so that it won't be too much visible. All right, so let me make it 3D. All right, then press R for rotation, then rotate it on X. So on X, let's go 90, then scale it up. Now first, let's change the view to front view. Okay, so we will bring this one underneath this so that it will be under this one. Okay, now let me switch to active view, then scale it up. Now you can scale it up as much as you want. So this is okay. All right, now let's go back to the active view, then front, then duplicate this one again, then move it up. It will also be here. Now let me come to the active camera. So you see how this is turning out. You see, nice and clean. Okay, you don't have to do so much with these things. When you create one scene, you can use that scene to do the entire scene. You just have to change the camera angle. All right, so once you are done with this, you can decide to now some graphic. Yeah, this, let me bring it so that you see this. You see this dotted map going in and out. Yeah, this, I created this separately, so you can do something like that, then save it as an MOV file, then use it. Or you can, like this one also. Okay, is this one, let me see, I don't know if I have it here. Yeah, is this word map that I've used. This is what I use. Okay, so what I did was this. You can just create this, then make it dotted. You can use CC ball action, ball action to create this. You just have to reduce the grid spacing. You see that? It's not difficult. Let me reduce the ball size. Then maybe you scale this up. Okay. Then after that, you animate it to create that one. Okay. So that's how I created that one and save it separately. So let me bring that one. I'll do series of this later. I'll do a different one without using any plugin at all. We just use just simple image to create the news ident. Okay. So let me click and drag the map in. Then this map, let me add a fill plugin to it. Okay. So let me change the color to orange. Okay. Now let me bring it underneath these ones. So it's underneath them. Let's see. See that? Now let me make it 3D so that it will also go under. Let me scale it up. Let me see. Let me change the view. Then move it to the back. All right. Now let's scale it up. All right. So this is okay. You see, simple. A simple news ident. You don't have to do that much. So I lock a radio wave here. Let me bring it back. So this one, maybe I'll position this one somewhere here. Let me change the view to custom view 1. Then bring this one forward a bit. Okay. Let's see. Active. Now let me duplicate it. Then move this one here also. Then scale it down. At this point, you just have to do just some simple arrangements with these things. Duplicate again. Then maybe move some to any angle that I want. Any side that you want. So now let's right click in, new, then come select null objects. All right, make the null object 3D. Now link the camera to the null object. Then rename the null object to cam control. Cam control. Control. All right. Now press R on the cam. Then on Y rotation, let's rotate it. So this angle is enough. You can rotate it on X to a bit more so that it will be up there. Right? So this is okay. Now, let me see. Okay. So this is okay. So press, I'll start the animation from here to frame 2. Then move it to there. Hit P on position. Okay. Now let's move the cam control to this side so that this image will come in play first. Okay. So let's set a key here. Okay. Then something like 8 seconds. Let's go. Let's move our scene so that it comes here. We are just doing some simple animation here. Okay. So this is okay. So let me leave it here. Let me close this in. So you see. All right. So let's play it and see first. You see. You see. You see. You see. I think this is not enough. Let me open this up. The radio wave is not enough. So I'm going to select those waves that I use. I think this one. Hold the shift key. This one, 2. This one. Then this one. Okay. Now press S on them. Then scale them up. Okay, so that to spread out more. So let me see. Okay, so this is enough. You see how easy it is? So there's nothing difficult about this. Someone they say like, oh, this is difficult, this is difficult. There's nothing difficult. If you want to make it a bit more complicated, that's where you can decide to add more things to it. Okay. You see, here, when I teach in a way that when you do it, you have room to add your own stuff to it. Okay. So with this, if you want to add something, you can still add. So like this, you can decide to, if you have some, let's see, some time codes. Maybe this, you can decide to bring a time code here and make it 3D. Okay, so it falls in line here. So let me move the time code here. Then scale it down small. Look on this. Let me bring it out here. Let me just bring this one up. Then scale it down more. So this is okay. Now, the image here, this particular image, let me duplicate it. Control D. Then move one to fill this gap here. And push this one to the back a bit more, so that the back won't be empty like that. Okay. So this, let me change the images in the scene. So this one, let me give it maybe this image. And this next one. Let me see. This image here would do. Let me see image 2. This one too would do. So I have this. Now let's see. See that? Simple. So this will be the first scene. Okay. So there's nothing difficult about this. So from here, you can decide to add more stuff if you want. So what I did there, just create a simple new solid layer. Okay. New solid layer. Make it 3D. All right. Let me bring this one up. Then rotate it R. Let me rotate it on X 90 degrees and scale it up. Then make it transparent. So something like 15. Let me say 15. So something like this, you see that you won't see it that much, but it's a design. Okay. You see that once it's going, you are seeing that solid layer in there. So with this, you can add a bit more stuff to it. That will also work. Okay. Just be creative and keep adding. All right. So with this, we are done with scene 1. Let me duplicate this one. Then maybe bring one to this side. Here 2 is too empty. So let me bring a radio wave here. See the one here. Let me duplicate this one. Then bring it down. So this one, let me scale it down. Move it to this position. Let me duplicate this one. Then move it to the top here. Okay. So let me leave it like this. Let's continue. See, simple. So you can add a bit more of other stuff. It can be some little writings that will be coming in. Okay. You can be adding stuff to make it more interesting. So it depends on you, what you want. Okay. All right. So let me leave it like this so that we won't waste that much time. So we are done with scene 1. So let's duplicate scene 1. Let's open scene 2. So all that we have to do here is come to the cam control, press R. That's for the rotation. Okay. Then we are just going to change the angle. So on, I think Y rotation, let's go minus. Okay. So we switch it to this side. All right. Then let me see. Press P on position. Let me see if this will work. All right. Cool. This also turned out well. Not bad. Not bad at all. So I will just leave scene 2 like this. Okay. I'll just leave scene 2 like this. So you see that I did not do much on these scenes. Okay, I just changed the camera angle. That's all. And I'm gone. So I can duplicate scene 1 again. Then we have scene 3. Then open scene 3. Now on scene 3, I just need a stable image. Okay. So on cam control, rotation, let me just go 0. So it to be straight. All right. Then the position. When this one is in the middle, so the here is okay. So I'll take the position animation off. All right. Let me see rotation. X rotation. Let me make it 0 here, so that it to be straight. So this particular image, that's where I'm going to write my title. Okay, so let me see what image is that. That's picture 1. So I'll duplicate picture 1. Okay, then rename it the duplicated one as title, then enter. So let me open title. So in place of the picture, I'm just going to write my title. So let's see, let's write something like news day. That's news. Okay, let me scale it up. Let me duplicate this one, then break this one under, then day. Just blow it up. All right. Yeah. So now let's come to the, what is it, 73. So this image, I will change it to title, hold the Alt key, and click and drag to replace it. So we have our title here. So let's animate the title. Okay. So the last image behind the text, what is it? This one. Let me bring it closer a bit. So here is okay. Okay. So when you come to position on control, press P. So from here, okay, we want it to end here. So I'll set an ending key position, then move the timeline to the starting, then go in. Okay, I'll move it in. I think this is okay. Now the image, let me move it back here again. So let me move the image back. So this is okay. All right. So we have something like this. All right. So just select the 2 keys, then easy ease them, then come to the graph editor, then move one side in. Okay. So this, you see that? So this is okay. Then the image, just type the Gaussian blur on it. Let me see. So when you press E on the effects, okay, when the image from here to here, it should be blurring. Okay, so I'll go 0 on the blurriness, set if a key, then move it to somewhere here, then go boom all the way. Okay, so it blurs throughout. Okay, so this is enough. Okay, so this is enough. So we have something like this. See that? And you are done with your news arrangement. You take your time. The title, okay, the title, let's change maybe the color, the text, this, the font color. You can decide to go with any color at all that you want. Okay, maybe let me see whether this color will look great on it. So it depends on you, the color that you want to go with. So now let's create the last, which is the finale. So final. So the first scene, which is scene 1, let's bring it. Scene 2, bring it. Then scene 3, bring it. So scene 1, let me move it where it started moving. So this is okay. So it moved where? Up to here before it stops. So I can end it here. So I'll just split the layer. I come to the edit menu, then split layer, then clear this one. So the next scene, okay, you split the layer here also. Then the next scene comes in. So somewhere here. Okay, so you can split the layer here also. Then the final scene. You can split the layer here. Okay. So with this, we are done here. Okay. So now let's come to the scene 3. There's something that I want us to. I want the title. Where is it? Press P on the title. Okay. So definitely this is going to be the end, but the position, let's press, set a key there, then move it here, from here. So when this one comes in, I want the title to also to come in last. So let's move it in so that we have something like this. Okay, so let's select the key also. Let's select the 2 keys on the title, then ease it there. All right, then come to the graph editor, then move this side in. Now let's see. Okay, let me open it up here. All right, solid. Now let's see the final one, our final work. So this our final work. See, simple. Then you end it. All right. If it's too slow, the scenes are too slow, like scene 1 and 2 is too slow, just move the animation keys closer. Okay. It's nothing much. Just move them closer. Then it will be faster. You see. All that you have to do is just move the animation keys closer. That's all. Come to scene 2, then move them closer. So when it comes to the finale, somewhere up to here, it's okay. You split it here. Okay. Let me split it here too. Let me clear this one. Then from here to here, and split it here. Okay. So I think this is okay. So what I've done here, it gives you room to add more. Okay. This is not the end. What you see here is not the end. You can still add more if you want. When you see, I haven't created a background here. There is no background. You can take your time, then design a rich black background to merge it in, or a multicolored background and stuff. So this is just the beginning of it. You can throw more stuff in if you want. Okay. But I just want you to give a brief idea how to design some of these things. Some of these things you think that it's always that you need globe. Fine. It can be inside. But you don't have to make it too obvious here. You see the one in. If you want to add a globe, there's a flash one that I brought here. That's, you can add it and make it black or gray, and it's also work. All right. Okay, guys. This comes to the end of another tutorial. Please, I'd like to hear your comments. Okay. If you want me to build more stuff like this, let me know. All right. Please kindly like, subscribe, and comment. See you next time.